I think the topic, the key here is to make a video about a topic that is neutral, you know. Not really about any subject in general, but about something, not any subject specifically, but something in general. And that is about how do we know anything is true? You know, I was thinking about the fact that, you know, I'm like a big fan of David Hume. You know, I think people who know me know that, you know, like that's all I would talk about is David Hume. And I was like, had this tremendous obsession with David Hume. And then in 2001, I just went to Scotland, you know, because I just wanted to go to David Hume's hometown, Edinburgh. And the first time I went there, I thought, well, I'm not going to go visit his tomb. I don't even know where he would be. I didn't even think about going to his tomb or visit anybody because I don't visit anybody. Yeah, I know a lot of people would probably say, oh, you're supposed to visit people in the cemetery and, you know, your relatives and whatnot. But, you know, that is sad. The thing is that I went to the art gallery, to the place where there was a portrait, because I have this book. I don't even have it around here somewhere. I probably do, but I'm not going to go looking for it. I've shown it on one of my videos, the book, and it has a portrait of David Hume. And I went to the gallery where that actual painting is. And then I went back to Scotland in 2009, and I said, this time I'm going to go visit his tomb. And one of my very first video, if you go all the way back and look at my videos, the very first video I made was a video of David Hume's tomb. Although I had no idea I was going to put that up on YouTube. If I had, I would have actually made the video longer and would have talked more. But anyway, the thing is that, you know, David Hume's skepticism was important to me. To be skeptical of claims. Look at things with an eye towards skepticism. But the truth of the matter is you can't be skeptical about everything. All of us accept a lot of things without any absolute proof that it's true. Because in truth, if you actually had to wait for proof that things were the case, you couldn't function. I mean, you really and truly could not function if you had to wait for proof that things were true, that something was absolutely the case. Don't breathe the air until you have proof that this is actually air that you're breathing. Hold my breath until I die. You know, don't eat the food unless you have absolute proof that it's food. You have to take it to a lab and everything. You know, by that time you would die of starvation. I mean, there's so many things that just wouldn't be practical. If somebody said, don't touch that thing, there's electric current running through it. You know, I imagine like if I were in a store. Because I think about something that happened when I was a kid. I went to a store once. I always like to tell these little stories. And there was a counter, you know, the counter where you put everything on there. And around the counter was like a metal thing, I guess like some type of trimming that they have around it. It's like a kitchen counter, except it had this little metal trim. And I guess, apparently, there must have been a wire that was in contact with that or something. Well, I don't know what the thing was, but it's all kind of funny things happened once I got electrocuted touching that. And there was and I think that it happened maybe a couple of times, but there was one incident that happened that was really funny. The guy on the other end of the counter, he's a friend of mine. We go to school together. He's working on the counter. And, you know, he gave me change. I bought something. He gave me change. And when he put the money in my hand, at the very moment he put the coins in my hand, made contact, we both got electrocuted. We had this current flowing through us. It was, we both dropped the money. It fell all over the counter. We laughed about it because obviously we had to laugh because, you know, we survived, obviously. But it was painful. And, you know, but the point of the matter is, if someone told you that something was dangerous like that, you could doubt it. Be careful, don't touch this, do that. You know, until you have absolute proof. Well, no, you told me I'm going to touch it anyway because I got to know. You know, and a lot of times in life you have to take a chance. So I kind of look at life as being constant gambles. But gambles that have very low odds of you losing, in a sense. You know, if you go to the store to buy, let's say, a can of vegetable soup or something, well, you don't absolutely know what's in that can, but the odds are it's probably what it says on that label is probably what's in that can. You know, if you're driving your car and there's traffic light up ahead and the light is green, probably if you go through that intersection, you'll be okay. But every so often, people go through and they have the green light and boom, accidents happen. You know. So it's always a gamble. I had to learn this when I was going through anxiety attacks, because overcoming the problem was looking at things that way, always realizing that there's always some risk, something could go wrong. What if something happens? What if, you know, and I had to come to the conclusion that, you know what, everything you do in life has a degree of risk to it. Anything you do, just walking down the street, eating food, doing anything, you could be obsessed with your own safety to the point where you can't function. Because you absolutely, positively have to know, and you can't absolutely know everything. In life, you got to take a chance. It's just one of those things I've learned. It's like, I don't even know how to emphasize that point, that in life, if you look for absolute safety, you're never going to find it. You know, people get on airplanes, they're afraid, oh God, what if something happens? Well, people can quote statistics. The chances of you getting, you know, in a plane crash is equal to the chances of getting hit by lightning twice, you know, in the same day. And there are times when there are people who have get hit by lightning twice. I saw a video once where some guy, I guess it was a security camera, this guy got hit by lightning twice. You know, he got hit by lightning one moment, then he got up, ran a little bit further, and got hit again. The thing is that, yeah, things that you think are unlikely could happen. You know, we kind of want the unlikely to happen when we go and get a lottery ticket. You know, if you play the Powerball lottery, you know, here in Illinois and other states, the chances of you winning the grand prize is 175 million to 1. But you know, everybody gets in line hoping to be that 100, that one person out of the 175 million. So it could happen. But you know, the thing is that in life you take a chance. And you have to overcome this fear that that something could go wrong. You know, you look at things, you be reasonable about it. Yes, you have to exercise some degree of reason, caution, and decide for yourself whether or not it's worth taking the risk. Some things are very highly risky. But, you know, you might think, okay, it's better. It's just like, you know, I have to take insulin, okay? This is risky. You know, this is risky. Insulin can kill you. It really can. This medicine can kill me if I don't do it right. If I take a bolus of insulin and forget to eat, and then go somewhere and I'm doing a lot of activities and burn up a lot of sugar, and all of a sudden people can die. I remember reading some article, some guy died. Oh, you realize that, yes, this is risky, but in the long run, it's better for my health, because, you know, not taking insulin, I would be in trouble. You know, you can die from that too. So life is risky. And I think that when people try to reduce the risk to zero, you just can't do it. That will lead you to eternal frustration. And I think you have to get over that. You cannot reduce the risk to zero. You could be wrong in what you think, what you believe, in the way you say something. Things go wrong, even when you calculate it right. Sometimes things happen randomly, things you could not have even put into the equation, you couldn't have known. I guess the point is that when I look at it, people try to weigh everything in the world. And sometimes you just know you have to take a risk, you know. You have to take a risk sometimes. Sometimes in life you're forced. You're given that situation where you are forced to make a choice. You know. And that's the way it works. That's just the way things are. That's all I'm going to say. This is not a very good video, but it's just this thought on my mind because I was thinking about something else, something somebody was talking about. And they were trying to make it where you could know something that you can't know. In life, you don't know what's going to ever happen in the future. But you do things as reasonable as you can, and you take your chances. And don't worry about it. And that's all. That's all I have to say.